Do you vision things the same way?
I would say no.
That's a good answer. No, it's true. I mean, when we educate ourselves, we start thinking differently. We look at our fields differently. You know, in my fields, I've got my master's degree in my mouth. How do you put a value on that? I can't go back and think like I used to because I'm looking at my fields. I'm in my fields all winter long, working with data. This is a slide I usually use at the end of my presentation. I'm going to use it now. How many of you, like, there aren't truly gray hair people dealing with this. But those of you that want to transfer the knowledge of your farm from one generation to the next, this technology is the absolute best way to do it. And I'm going to use my example. When I was 22 years old, my father passed away. My brother and I probably took another 15 to 16 years to learn all the stuff that he did. Now, I have a son-in-law in the operation, and I'm sitting down with him. We're looking at yield maps through the winter, and he's picking up the knowledge about the land. So he didn't have to he can pick up where I left off and not start all over again. But what if you want to let that land go on to someone else? You can transfer that knowledge about that land from good spots to bad spots very easily. So farmers, we believe that we need this technology. We're good stewards of the land, and now we can be good stewards of the knowledge of the land and using this technology. Return on investment. So transfer knowledge is another big return on investment. Now, I've got two fields here. How do you manage them differently? Okay, I'll give you one here. They both have the same yield. How would you manage them differently? Okay, the yield map would help. All right, we'll go back and do the same thing over and over again. A or B, which one would you manage differently? Which field needs more management? A? I agree. Now what I'm doing, I'm managing the magnitude of the variation. Now I know what the magnitude of that variation of that field is. Okay, here's a lot of times I'll come to meetings and I'll sit there and listen to what they have to say. And sometimes I don't agree with what they're saying. So I'll go back to my data and prove it to myself that what they're telling me is absolutely wrong. So right now I'm going to contradict the experts. And I hope I don't step on someone's toes here. How many times have you been in the meeting, someplace in the meeting that they say, I'm going to tell you what variety does best on what type of soil?
A year.
Do you believe them? The Order 2 soil survey that was done in our county in 2000, it was never, ever, ever, ever intended for precision agriculture. It was for tax equalization, it was for land management planning for counties, for states, whatever. It was never intended for precision agriculture. The Order 2 soil survey. When was that Order 2 soil survey done in this county? Do you know? It had to be in the last 10, 15 years. The whole country has been done by that. Here's the Order 1 soil survey my father did, I guess in 1962, I had it on this slide. 3 soil types here, 2 with the new one. 1 soil type there, 4. 6 soil types in this one, 3. 9 soil types in that field, 2. This map here I've used many, many, many times to help explain yield variations within my field. This one I've never even thought of. Remember that little problem I had in the field? Open that Order 2 soil survey told me. Okay, here's another example. Here's a field of highly variable we have, and here's the 3 soil types in that field from the Order 2 soil survey. I have 3 yield maps off that field. Cornfield, a soybean field, and a wheat field. If I take those soil maps and lay it on top, it's tough to see here. Just apologize for that. But anyway, you can kind of imagine that you can't see very well. But anyway, they have no idea. They have no relationship whatsoever. So what we can do, I'm not going to get real technical, but Yield data maps is nothing but a giant spreadsheet that's visually looking at you. There's actual data behind each one of the values we have in this field. And there's one thing we can do is called equalize the data, where we convert the yield maps. So we can set up a formula, and we do this, and actually what we're going to do here is we're going to make a giant spreadsheet on that field, and we're going to call what we call equalize. We're going to take the maximum yield, and we're going to take each yield point and read it across. And I'm just going to quickly do this because it's hard to see it. But what we're going to do is we take those three yield maps in. Once we convert them, and we can divide them by 3 to make a whole new map. And eventually, this is a yield map composited of those 3 maps. And I can tell you very well, this is a tree line. There's trees here. We have a tree line effect. These are sand pockets within the field, and this is an old farm set. Something a soil survey would never pick up. Something no one would pick up except my yield data. Quality yield data, not basic yield data. I've got the best soils map for managing that field that anybody else has, and I don't need a soil survey. So here's the soil survey. Here's the equalized maps. Maybe this one would be a little bit better. You tell me how they relate. I've got 45 fields like this. When I hear someone say, I can tell you what does best in what soils. Can you prove it to me? And if I was to barrel rate plant that field, I'm going to come back here. Don't be fooled. The order 2 soil sample will never intended for precision agriculture. Terry Griffin from Kansas State University, he's the precision ag head. I got to know him real well personally. Actually, was at U of M at one time, and we got to know each other real well. He made the comment, it's the only general source we have, and we have to use it. No, you don't. Okay, if you had a variable, you had your GPS receiver, you had your variable rate prior, and your monitor, and you put your map up, are you going to do variable rate by soil type? Or are you going to do soil type? Are you going to do variable rate by yield map? Which one would make more sense? Now here's my spiel on big data. I don't like it. You think about it, in 1990 or 2013, Climate Corp was bought by Monsanto for $1 billion. And holy mackerel, the silicon, California turned into a gold mine. There's gold out in our farmers' fields, and we're going to go get it. And I don't care what company you're talking about. Wagner, I have a lot of respect for the service side, but I mean, there's a whole group of people. They're all venture capital money. They got hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm just looking at, I'll tell you about FBN. They got over $100 million venture capital money. There's some money from Taiwan. They've got a whole heck of a lot of money. Who is their customer? Venture capital people, they want a 20 or 30% investment. Or is it you? Yeah, they're providing a lot of services, and I hope the heck they do well, because I got stock in the company because I was working there for a while. I want them to do well. But the other question is, who owns the data? Everyone I've read in their end user license agreement says it's the farmer's data. So we have all this data we're collecting. And they want us to send us into this data analytics. The problem is, once they analyze the data, it's no longer your data. The aggregated data is theirs. And that's where the money is. Yeah, they're going to throw us a few dollars back. But think about it. If you're giving data away, there's value in it. Otherwise, they wouldn't want it. They found ways to make money on it. I've heard a few ways. I'm not going to say anything, but you can figure it out. But I just want to kind of say the same thing as a loan corn. You take a loan corn to the elevator. Once you release that corn to the elevator, it's no longer your corn. But you're hoping that elevator manager makes some money on that corn. He's going to clean it up and ship it off wherever he has to. You hope he makes a few cents on it because you want him to improve the elevator, more dumping sites, more storage space. So you want them to make some money, but not an astronomical amount. Saying that, last year we went into field day. And I'm a little bit leery about sending data with them, but one thing I wanted to do was I have 3 partners, and I have a tough time. I work with the data 99% of the time, but this year was the best thing that ever happened. I put an iPad in the cart, my son-in-law drove. We had 2 in the combines, and then my brother was dumping trucks. I put one by him so he could see real time as data is being collected, so he could see exactly what's going on in the field. And I started to get a lot of questions as to why is this area better than this, or why is the moisture different than this. So it was a good way for discussion. I like the weekly satellite. We do have drones. I fly both a quadcopter and a fixed-wing drone. I like the satellite imagery, so I can just quickly weekly look through the images. Sometimes the next kind of prioritize which ones I want to fly. And then we solved the problem with one of our planners. There was an issue that we had a different version of software at once, so it was probably slightly different. But it's just a question. If we ever start that they see streaking in the field, it's we better check our calibrations. The data analysis is nice. The only thing I didn't like is that I'm paying someone else to take my data. Why? I'm just glutton for that. But it is kind of nice. Planter trials, we did a split planter trial. We have planter record one side and half the other. But I look at the average 190 bushels. This was the yield map minus the headlands. And then we had the Decal variety and the rain variety. There was about a 14 bushel advantage as a field of the whole. And then when I did some select field analysis, right here there was about there was no advantage between the two of that part of the field. That was probably the best part of the field. In the middle, we had a little bit more of an issue going on there, still a little bit better yield, but there was about a 2 bushel advantage. And finally here, there was about a 9 bushel advantage. Now up here it said 14. But remember, I subtracted away from the tree line, I subtracted the headlands out of there, so I'm really analyzing. So yeah, it's a nice quick way to look at data between the two. One thing I really think I'm having a lot of fun with is that I'm working with a company called Centera. They're out of Minneapolis. On a quadcopter, they use the red, blue, green, the color camera, and we can fly over that field and start determining the plant population. We fly at a height of about 50 feet. It does a centimeter accuracy. We go through analysis. We're starting to understand that, okay, how one part of the field maybe needs a higher population, and we're just this isn't happening all the time as good as other parts of the field. And also giving us some indication of what we plan versus what we get off the ground. So the thing we're starting to learn, again, this 1 year, we have to get about 3 years of that before we can do a lot of things. This is the fixed wing I fly. This is the quadcopter. We're using a red, blue, green, near infrared, red edge sensor on there, so I'm getting 5 bands of data. I just had to buy a new computer. I just ordered it on the way down here. I stopped before I would order it. When you start processing airplane or drone images, you need a lot of processing. And I'm only going to talk about one thing about small data. Again, I'm a program, I do a program called FileMaker Pro. It's a relational database software package. You can do anything you want. You put a server in the farm. So on my phone, on the tablet, we can do real-time data collection. Much more detailed than anything you can do in your tractor displays, much more user-friendly. But you can see it as iPad or the phone, the screen is a little bit different. But we have the field history, we have entry of all the data. I have grain inventory, so everything is scaled off. You know exactly, I can click on a button, know exactly what my inventory is. Then we have a purchase part of it where we enter in all our purchases versus then we can compare what we put in versus what we actually applied. This is very similar to what service Wagner will do for you. For me, of all the precision ag data I've talked to in 26 years, this is probably more important. It gives me, I can get field rotations, I can go yield, I can average yield in seconds, I can see actual yield of what we hauled in on the solo versus what we thought we had yield longer. I'm just going to add a couple of conclusions here now. If you use accuracy, get a cart or get a scale on the farm, take time to calibrate your unit. It's probably the best thing you can ever do. Quality data is very, very important. Everybody wants it. Yes, sir.
So you do the different crops, say corn and bean fiber, should be calibrated for more or less one?
One for each crop. You have to calibrate for each crop. In our case, you will have corn, you'll have wheat, you have soybeans, sometimes we'll have sunflower, we'll have for beans. We've got this contact. Because we're a cart. Yeah, you can't run the cart all the time. Nothing like that. Any other questions? Learn how to work with your own data. If you don't learn how to work with your own data, educate yourself enough so when you look at a yield map, be a trained guy, that you can say, well, that's a bunch of baloney. Yeah. It's really, really important. And remember, the data is more, or the map is more important than the data. And whoever's collecting the data, it's to their advantage one way or the other how that map is processed. You want to process for the variability, you want to have that. So you need to educate yourself enough that you can make the right decisions. Remember, you are ultimately responsible for whatever happens on that land. And whatever happens on that land puts food on your table, puts your kids through school, and allows you for retirement. So when these guys are doing all this processing, all this analysis, educate yourself enough so that when you see that data, you're actually making good decisions. And not just say, okay, you tell me that. I want to push the easy button. You give me the answer. I don't want to work at it. And with that, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you mentioned you don't look at